In this tutorial, I'll show you how you can work with an organigram, how you can create it, how you can use graphical files you already have, and how you can present it in a very nice fashion with the morph transition or other useful animations. So at first, we would need the organigram itself. So an organigram is a graphical interpretation of an organization, of a company, or anything else, and it should show the connections between different cells. So this is an example organigram. I don't want to infringe any copyrights, but I'll use this as an example and then delete it. Let me simply download this picture and show it to you in PowerPoint. And if you would like, you could go to Insert, you could use shapes and create many shapes, you could copy them, you can make different colors, and then insert another shape, like to make the connections between them. This would be one way of designing an organigram. Another way would be using Insert, Smart Art, and in this chart we have something like hierarchy, and here we can make something kind of like an organigram. If you do like them, you could use them, this would be no problem. You could also change the colors, and you would have so many work saved. But I want to show you how you could approach it if you design it somewhere else or you use a picture like I will do here. So I would have the picture and I would need to explain this to my audience. So how would I approach this? Definitely, I would like to take it part by part. And PowerPoint, since version 2016, has something great, which is called the morphing transition. What I would do, I would even duplicate this slide. I would press Ctrl C and V to have the slide like that. On the second slide here, I would take out only the part which I would like to explain. For example, this left side, and maybe those red ones because they are still connected to each other and they are relevant to each other. So I would take this photograph, I would need to go to Format, and I would need to go to Crop. I would crop it like this, I would crop it like this, and there are many ways of how you could crop the rest. You could, for example, just insert shapes, insert a white shape here. It's not as white, but I could just make it white to make it the same color as the background. Then shape outline, no outline, position it a bit better, and okay, this would be ready. Let's say that this is done properly. I will place it in the middle of the screen. Of course, it could be bigger, but what I want to show you here. On the second slide here, go to Transition and press Morph. You know what happens, you see it. So this first slide morphs into the second slide, and it's beautiful. Look at that. If I would preview this slide and I will press the next button, it will automatically crop the entire thing to this position. Then what I would do, I would copy the first slide and place it here, so we again have the entire overview. Then I would take this slide and reveal a different portion. Let me maybe place this here, and I would need to go to Crop and crop a different part, maybe this green one this time. Okay, the green connections, like this. Crop, I need this to place here, place it in the middle. Of course, this should be a bit bigger, so I'll press Ctrl G and I'll make everything bigger. Okay, what I do have now, if someone is watching this presentation, I would preview this presentation. I would tell you that let me go over to the left side where I'll explain the connections between the direction, compatibles, and the sheaf. Okay, I would go towards that. I would explain it to you. Then I would, oh, sorry, I don't have the morph here. Just remember transitions, morph, transitions, morph. Okay, after this slide, I could go back to the entire object, the entire organigram, and I would still explain. Now we'll go over the green area where I'll have to explain other connections between other parties of this organization. So I would go then forward. So after again talking about this, I would go forward to this slide. Now the morphing didn't work here, and why is that? This is because morphing tries to morph from one object it has into the same object it has, and the same object is in a different shape. But this time it's not the same object because I've grouped it. I shouldn't do that. I should right click, group, ungroup. Now this image can again morph into this image separately. Okay, so going forward from here, if I would play forward, it would go again to the green part. If you do not have PowerPoint 2016, do not worry about that. Just use the fade transition or any other transition. it could be explained the same way, you only wouldn't have the nice morphing between the slides. So I hope this answers the question about the organigram. Thank you very much for listening and see you in next tutorials.